So do you have a song that you're scared of listening to because it was yours and your ex's song, and the pain of hearing it is just too much? Or maybe there's a restaurant you went to, or a city that you both used to visit, and now you avoid them at all costs. Well, today we're going to look at why this happens and how you can overcome it, so you're not living a life where you're avoiding a million and one things. Roll VT. My name's Andy O'Neill. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do, because I release videos every week on breakups, breakup recovery, self-esteem. I'm not somebody who's going to sit here and tell you what you want to hear. I'm someone who's going to tell you what you need to hear. Having been through plenty of breakups myself and now coach people from it, I know that the cold hard truth, however painful it is what's going to help you move on. So if you want to hear more of that, subscribe. Right, so we've all got those things after the breakup, right? Whether it's a song, whether it's a city, whether it's a restaurant or a club, whatever. Places we went with our ex that we now say to ourselves, I can never go back there. I went with them and the pain will just be unbearable. So it's natural, right? It's what we all feel, what we all think, and what we all go through. Why do we do that? What is it that's actually going on? Well, the main thing is that a lot of those things are triggers, and we all know what triggers are, yeah? It's things that we associate with something else. So if I go back to that restaurant again, it's going to trigger my thoughts about my ex, and it's going to be painful, and I don't want to put myself through it. So what I'll do is, I'll just never go to that restaurant again. That's the power of association. You're associating that restaurant with those memories of being there with your ex, and that's going to be painful. Now, the brain's natural response is to protect us. That's what it's there for. So it recognises this. It knows that there's pain associated with those places. There's pain associated with that song. So it's created fear. Fear that if we do it, or we go there, or we hear that, it's going to hurt. Now, the problem with fear is, the problem with anxiety, a lot of them are not based on reality. They're based on stories that we tell ourselves. We convince ourselves, if I do this, this is what's going to happen. Now, that's not to say it won't be painful. That's not to say it won't be triggering. But what's the end result? You see, when it comes to fear, often our brains don't allow us to tell the full story. Now, one way of overcoming this is using the and then what exercise. You see, what's happening is your fear doesn't want you to finish the story, because otherwise you won't be as scared. For instance, let's say you've got a local restaurant, right? And you went there a few times with your ex. You say to yourself, I can't go there because it's going to be triggering. But your brain stops right there. Your fear doesn't let it go any further. Well, what happens afterwards? What happens if you do go to the restaurant? What happens if it does trigger you? What happens if you do get upset? What comes next? You see, your fear doesn't want you to know what comes next, because what comes next isn't as scary. So let's do it right now. Let's say you've got this restaurant and you're scared of going, but you're going to decide, I'm going to face it. And then what? Let's say it does trigger you. Let's say you do get upset. What happens next? Have you not already been upset over your ex? Have you not already been triggered? Did you survive? Yes, you did. So I'll give you another example. There was a waterfall that I went to with my ex, and after we broke up, I avoided going at all costs, even though I absolutely loved the place. That was because my fear was telling me, don't go there, you're gonna get triggered. So I did the and then what exercise, and I played it out in my head. All right, I'm gonna go to the waterfall, and then what? I'm gonna get triggered over my ex, and then what? I'm not gonna stop thinking about my ex, and then what? I'm probably gonna come home and I'm gonna think about my ex all the way home. And then what? Then I get home and I'm probably gonna cry myself to sleep that night. And then what? Well, then I'll get up the next day and I might still be thinking about my ex a little bit, but probably won't be as bad. And then what? And then I'll get through the day and carry on with my life, I guess. Suddenly that's not as scary, is it? Yeah, you've had some short-term pain, you've been triggered, you've got emotional, you've got upset, but you get over it and you carry on. Now, fear doesn't want you to know that. Fear doesn't want you to finish that story, because otherwise it won't be able to grip you anymore. It won't be able to control you anymore. So this is something you can do yourself. Maybe you've got a song. Maybe you've got a place that you can't go. Complete the and then what exercise. Is it really going to be the end of the world if you get triggered over your ex? Is it really going to stop you in your tracks if you cry about your ex for a few hours? You've probably done that a million times already anyway, and you've still survived. By using the and then what exercise, you can take the fear and anxiety away from situations and take back some control. And that's when you can get the strength to decide, I'm going to face my Everests. Because believe me when I say, you're going to heal a lot quicker if you face these things instead of avoid them. So you've completed the and then what exercise and you're ready to give it a go. The next step is creating a new memory with that place. So again, let's say it is a restaurant. Why don't you go with someone who you've not caught up with for ages? Someone you're excited to see, someone you think, God, I've not spoke to them for ages, it'd be great to catch up. Give the restaurant a new meaning while you're there. So when you get there, you're going to be focused on that more. Will you still get triggered over your ex? Potentially. Will you still get upset over your ex? Maybe. Will it be the end of the world? No. But what you've also done is you've created a brand new association in your mind. Something new that restaurant's connected to, more than just your ex. You're creating a new power of association. Now, it's not going to happen the first time, but gradually over time, you'll associate new, more positive experience with those songs, with those places, and the fear of going will start getting reduced. Till eventually, you'll end up going back places like that, and you won't even think about your ex, just like I do when I go to that waterfall. You're now living a life that's free of avoidance. You're now living a life that's free of your ex. You're now living your life. But there's one more thing to consider in all this. Yes, we can go, we can have new experiences, we can create a power of association. Yes, we can do that and then what exercise, and we can start removing some of that fear from actually visiting these places. But ultimately, it's still going to be a challenge. Let's not beat around the bush. I don't expect you to do any of those things and then go, yeah, I'm going to go now and everything will be all right. You're still going to be fearful, you're still going to be anxious, you're still going to be worried that it's going to trigger you. And do you know what? It might still do that, but you can handle it. Of course you can. You've come this far. Think about all the challenges you've had in your life. You've survived every single one of them. Every single one. That's why you're still here today. You're telling me you can't get through this? Of course you can. But here's the beauty of it. It's going to help your healing process, because what you're going to do is you're not just going to go there and then come home and feel relieved and think, oh, I've done it. You need to celebrate the fact. You need to see it as taking a step away from the pain of the breakup. Every single time you conquer an Everest, you're getting closer and closer to happiness. So celebrate it. Recognize the achievement. See it as progress on your journey. Because once you do, once you start feeling the benefits, you'll want to do it more and more. You'll want to think about more Everests. You'll want to go and conquer them. Till eventually, there's none left. And when that happens, you're well and truly on your way to being completely healed from your ex. Don't be afraid of getting support with it as well. Take a friend, tell a family member, share it in the comments. Let us know what Everest you're going to try and conquer this week. Because these things are difficult, they're not easy. The journey through breakup recovery has a lot of bump in the roads, but you can overcome them. I did, and I'm nothing special. So if I can do it, you can do it. So share it in the comments and let me know what Everest you're going to conquer. Don't forget to celebrate when you get to the top of that mountain as well. That was a flag I was holding up, just in case you were wondering. Right, hopefully you enjoyed that video and you understand that what you're going through right now, we all go through it. We all avoid these things. It's part of breakup recovery, but you can overcome them. You can conquer them. Just believe in yourself and don't do it alone, because you're not. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.